Taking a All right, hello to everybody watching this. We are here to play Forever Home, which is a Descended from the Queen game. So I hack of For the Queen by Alex Roberts. This is a very first playtest of this particular hack. So we will see how this all goes. So to get started, let's just kind of imitate the way that For the Queen starts and just take turns reading the paragraphs of the instructions in the instruction guide, and we'll make the turn order what we've got here kind of going clockwise around the stream here. So it'll be me, then Kim, then Kirk, then Christina. Back to me will be our turn order here. So I will start. Your family is considering adopting a cat. You have visited your local animal shelter several times and have found a cat you think just might be perfect. But adopting a cat is a lot of commitment, and you want to be absolutely sure you found the right match.
Take a standard deck of 52 cards and shuffle them well. Shuffle one of the jokers into the bottom third of the deck. Place the deck where everyone can reach it.
Place the other joker nearby. This is the X card. If a topic, name, idea, or anything else that makes you uncomfortable comes up in the game, just tap the X card or say X card. The thing that prompted the X card is removed from the game, and the story will go in a different direction instead.
Christina, you're muted.
Technology, guys. How many Zoom meetings have I done in the last few weeks? Find a cat photo online, show it to everyone. This is the cat you are considering adopting.
Okay. Are people cool with using the cat photo that was on the event page? Or does someone else have a different cat photo you'd like to propose?
Oh, that's good. Is that your cat?
That's my cat, yes.
I thought that was your cat. I remembered him.
Okay.
You might have a bias.
I was going to ask to see the photo, but I'm very familiar with Stenter's cat. So.
Yes. Yeah,
I've never seen Stenter's cat and don't know where the photo is. So.
Oh, okay.
You can just show the cat.
Yeah, if he wanders in here. So let me see what the best way to share
the Gauntlet Hangouts.
Oh, okay.
Link.
There we go.
So you click on that and see the pictures that you posted.
Yeah. So for folks watching this later, he is a not so chunky black and white kind of cow pattern cat with a very pink nose and pink toe beans. Okay. So then resuming our rules here. Don't decide in advance who your character is, what kind of family you are, or where you live. Let those things emerge from the play of the game.
Take turns going around the table. On your turn, draw a card, read the associated question from the table below, and answer it from your character's point of view. If you dislike the question, you may X card it and pick a new one. Anyone may X card a question or any element of the answer.
After you answer the question on your card, other players may ask any number of follow-up questions to clarify or expand your answer.
When someone draws the joke, oh gosh darn it, I'm sorry. Nope, I'm not muted for once. Never mind. Gosh, I'll get this eventually.
That's all right.
When someone draws the joker, all players answer the following question. Do you agree to adopt the cat? Once these answers have been given, the game is over.
All right, so let's then go ahead. So it's come back around to me. So I will draw the first card here. And it is the 3 of diamonds. Oh, which of a cat's body parts do you find the cutest? Okay, I gotta go with the toe beans. The little toe beans. I wish I had toe beans. It'd be so much more convenient than having to put shoes on.
Do you like pink toe beans or black toe beans?
I admit to being partial to pink, but I think they're all quite adorable. Okay. I think it's on to Kim to draw the next card.
It is Jack of Diamonds. Let's switch over there. If you can't have a cat, what pet would you prefer? I'm not sure.
So,
Probably a dog.
okay.
They're they're very different pets, but if for some reason I couldn't have one, I'd have the other. You were saying?
Did you have a childhood pet?
I had a childhood cat and a childhood dog. They both predated me.
Oh.
Would you go for like a big uncat-like dog or a little kind of more cat-like dog?
Probably a little cat-like dog. I used to have an elderly terrier who thought she was a cat, and it was a really enjoyable experience.
Okay.
I got 5 of spades. What unusual medical procedure did the cat need when it was brought to the shelter? Ooh, poor kitty. How unusual is unusual supposed to be? Is it supposed to be like something that's not a normal cat procedure?
Up to your interpretation.
Okay.
Just something that would stand out to your character somehow.
Okay. The cat was in a fight before we brought it, and the cat lost an eye in the fight, and when we brought it to the vet, it had to have the eye taken out, and they put in a really cute looking glass eye that matched the other one really nice. So honestly, like, Kitty looks pretty good now, and Kitty doesn't seem to mind it too much, and it doesn't bother her. But it does make her stand out, because when she looks at other stuff, the one eye doesn't move.
Right.
Okay.
So I got the Queen of Clubs. I'm getting all the different suits already. What family outing would be canceled to save money for the expenses of adopting a cat? Does the scenario presume that all 4 of us are a family?
Yeah, so we are a family. What exactly our roles are in the family, what kind of a family, like we could be 4 roommates that are, kind of a chosen family if we want.
Okay.
That we just figure that out as we go. But we're a family and we do some stuff as a family is kind of the premise.
Okay. Going along with the social distancing theme, I think that our May Memorial Day trip to the Outer Banks, since I'm in Pennsylvania, is canceled anyway. So that RV trip, yeah, it's an RV trip in my head, and we like staying at a bunch of quirky Airbnbs along the way, because that's my favorite way to travel, even though we have an RV. It doesn't make any sense. But
is this a trip that our family goes on every year, or was this a special thing?
I think this is special. Yeah, like one of us maybe had like a special occasion to like celebrate, but maybe instead of celebrating, we're getting a cat instead.
Okay. So who is celebrating though? Because that's some drama there.
Not me. So nose goes.
I can make it me since I asked the question.
That sounds good.
I'll be the center of that drama. It was. We'll say that I just graduated from grad school, and that's what we were going to celebrate. But we're getting a cat instead.
Are you considering
what flavor
a cat
of graduate school?
Oh, sorry. 2 people talking. I didn't hear either thing.
Go, Christina.
What flavor of graduate school?
Well, I've just been reading all this stuff about atmospheric physics, so I'm going to say it was a degree in atmospheric physics.
Excellent.
I was going to ask if you consider a cat an adequate substitute for a Outer Banks trip as a celebration?
I think that remains to be seen, depending on what we learn about this cat and about our
Is
family.
this a PhD in atmospheric physics?
Let's say it's a master's.
Okay.
All right. So now I actually have to draw my own card. Okay, roll for your party. Just told me rate exceeded.
Do you have to like clear the cards from the table? I've never used Roll Your Party before. So.
Do you want me to try to
Neither
draw
have
one?
I.
Hang on, let me reload that page and see what happens here. Okay, there we go. Now it's back. I don't know what was going on there. I'm gonna get rid of those other cards. Draw a new one for myself. Okay, 9 of clubs. What responsibility do you have that would make it tough to feed the cat on a regular schedule? Okay, so I think I'm going to tie that into what we've just been saying, and I'm going to say that this was a celebration of my anticipated graduation, but I'm not quite there yet, and so I have an ongoing research project with my advisor, and it involves taking like weather measurements at all hours of the day. And so I keep having to go out to our study sites and, read the thermometer and download the data and stuff. And since I have that going on, that means that I'm not always around when the cat would need to be fed.
So I have gotten a rate exceeded again.
Hmm.
Can I ask a standard question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What does the cat do when you don't feed it on time?
Well, we haven't adopted this cat yet, so I'm not totally sure, but based on past experience with cats, loud meowing and knocking stuff over is a likely outcome.
Fair enough.
Okay. Okay, and Kim, you said
draw a card.
That would be
I
great.
got the 9 of spades.
Or I think that's a clubs.
9 of spades.
No, the clubs was mine. I just didn't clear it.
Oh, sorry.
The new cards appear on the right.
Okay.
How have you defied a landlord who did not accept pets? Not sure if this is our current landlord or a past landlord.
It's up to you. Whatever you want to make it.
I'm going to pick past landlord. Whoever I lived with in my last apartment, we also had a landlord who did not accept pets, and we smuggled my roommate's snake in. Fortunately, snakes are pretty stationary and easy to hide when the landlord came to do landlordy things, but we definitely weren't supposed to have it.
Did the landlord ever find out?
The landlord never told us if he found out.
Does this make you feel more confident that you'd be okay with having a cat in a situation where the landlord might not be okay with it?
I'm a little anxious. Cats are kind of harder to hide, a little less self-contained, but I think it's worth the risk.
Does our current landlord allow for cats? Do we have a landlord right now?
Yes, we have a landlord. Yes, she allows for cats, but she's made some sort of, as long as they don't do any damage noises. Which,
Okay.
I mean, we all know that you can't guarantee a cat is not going to do any damage, but we're saying, of course, our cat will be perfectly well behaved and not damage anything.
Perfect.
I'll take a card. My card is the 8 of clubs. That is, whose room do you think the litter box should go in? Ooh. It is a divisive question.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I really don't want it to go in my room. I think it's going to go in our PhD graduates room because because they travel for school sometimes and they're not there all the time, and they're gonna or master's graduate, and I assume they're gonna go for their PhD. So I think their room is going to be disrupted the least. But also, this is kind of an excuse, so it's not in my room.
Do we all decide as like a condition of adopting this cat, should we want it to like get one of those fancy self-cleaning litter boxes and like the really, really fancy litter?
Well, I don't know. Is somebody going to school? Can they afford that?
Yeah, I can't afford that, but
I mean,
if all of you want to chip
going
in,
to school.
then I'll accept it being in my
say-
room.
I'll say my sweet tech job means that we can have a robot.
I'm just
litter
gonna like
box.
RP a little bit of what I do in real life. Yeah, I'm for developing. I like code for like schedule. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, my turn.
So it's your turn, Christina.
Sorry, I'm definitely having some issues today with keeping what here. Okay, so I got the Excel if it gives itself time to think here. I'm getting the spinning wheel of death. Queen of Hearts. So yeah. So the cat's meow almost sounds like human speech. What is it saying? It's interesting. I think it's saying wash your hands. Meowsh your hands or something like that. Sorry.
And have you been washing your hands before and after petting the cat at the shelter?
Yes.
Okay.
And the cat gives some good side eye if I don't. So.
Mm-hmm. The cat definitely doesn't want to have to be washed. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And I'll clear those to make some room. I drew the Ace of Spades. One of the shelter staff told you something privately about the cat. Did you share it with the rest of the family? I'm going to say no.
Did the group of the three of us who weren't told that you being pulled away by the shelter staff? Or did we basically have no
Oh, yes. High drama here. You saw me get pulled away, and afterwards I was like, oh, it was nothing. It was just some like paperwork stuff.
So obviously you probably shouldn't tell us, but how did it make you feel, like what you heard?
I think that I was a little more standoffish around the cat. Like not obviously, but like, just a little bit after hearing this secret piece of information.
Does one of us call Stentor out?
I'm going to buy that it was just random paperwork.
Okay, same.
Okay.
I trust you.
We'll see if that trust was warranted.
Can somebody draw me a card again, please?
6 of diamonds. I'm sorry,
Thank
I drew
you.
it, but I wanted to unmute.
Who feeds the colony of feral cats in your neighborhood? It's a combination of me and the little old lady across the street, who we're pretty sure doesn't like us, but we're not sure why. Like, collectively doesn't like us.
Does she adopt any cats of her own? Is she like a cat lady?
She seems like a cat lady. We're not, again, she's very mysterious.
Not acquainted. No, I get it.
But I would be willing to bet she has at least like half a dozen cats in there.
Does our like neighborhood association approve of this?
No, but she's been there the longest. So she has a sort of grandfathered in. No one dares cross her kind of aura.
Okay.
All right, I'll draw one. 4 of spades, not diamonds. 4 of spades is the cat was found in an unusual place before it was brought to the shelter. Where was it? I think the cat was found on because it was meowing trapped on a high platform on one of those firehouse training buildings. Have you seen what these are? They're like scaffolding constructed buildings where like the firemen carry all their things up the stairs and practice spraying into the windows. So the cat got somewhere it couldn't get down from and was found crying up there on top of the firehouse training. And because of its wound, I assume it was chased there by other cats that were picking on it.
Does it have a fire-related shelter name, like Smokey?
Oh, that's a great name. Yes, it is definitely called Smokey.
Smokey.
Or at least that's like its shelter name, of course.
Right.
You could rename it, but Smokey's a great name.
Yeah. No, shelters love to do exactly that. Give it a name based on where it came from.
Yeah, if I named one of my in real life cats based on where it came from, it would have been like Italian pizza or something. He was like a stray in the back of an Italian restaurant.
I would have had a cat named Dumpster.
If there's any more questions, go ahead, Christina.
All right. Drawing my card. My laptop is thinking. Yeah. Hit the submit button on Roll Your Party. I might just have on. Okay,
it looks
two
like
of
a 2 of clubs has popped up. So I think that's your
I'm
card.
probably just gonna have someone.
Okay.
What family activity did you once stop in order to look at an animal? I think if Kirk, if you just want to draw for me on my turn, you seem to have a more stable internet connection than I do. So
yeah, no problem. I'll draw it.
So the question is, sure. What family activity did you once stop in order to look at an animal? I feel like I guess as roommates we go out on nature walks during social distancing times, like we all live together so we don't have to socially isolate from one another, but like we went out to a city park and I was so socially deprived of like contact, I was looking at every single little bunny that was hopping in the fields. So
do any of those bunnies ever come to our house, or are they strictly a nature park feature?
You tell me, were you dropping carrots for them on the way home to follow us home?
I can't afford carrots on my
That's
grad
fair.
school salary.
What if you drop like wilted lettuce? I don't know. Do bunnies need really fresh lettuce? I've never kept a bunny before.
I don't know how they feel about lettuce freshness.
Yeah, maybe they're just park buns.
Okay.
Who out of the group was the most annoyed that you interrupted our walk?
I want to say maybe it was between Kim and Stentor. Stentor's characters like wanted to like get home so they could continue their research. Oh god damn it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No. Shit.
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you.
All the difficulties
Say
today.
hi, Zelda.
Aw.
This is Zelda.
Aw. I love torties.
I have 3 of them.
Oh, all right. I'm coming to visit.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
we can hear you.
Hey, we can hear you.
Yep.
No. I can't hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, wow, I'm really in a great mood. God damn it.
Nope.
Hi.
Just appeared. All right, let me check in with her. The nice thing about this game is that if someone does need to drop, it doesn't like mess up the whole story or anything. But let me check in on Messenger and see if she's.
Yeah, I've got nothing but time. We can wait a while. That's actually not the first cat named Zelda that I know.
Yep, it was so my Zelda
Oh.
for my husband and video games, and Zelda for me and Ella Scott Fitzgerald. Or
Yes.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Oh, I'm glad that it's Zelda for 2 reasons.
We also have a dog named Ruby for about 4 different reasons.
Oh,
Oh, nice. Oh, here's Christina back. All right.
Yay!
welcome back. Can you hear us?
Sorry, I had no idea what happened there. My computer it might have disconnected, so like great tech problems. So your question was who was like annoyed at the lengthening of the walk? I think some character back to research maybe, but I want to look at that as a lead up to learn more about him.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said.
You cut out a little.
So my might be annoyed by the lengthening of the nature walk, and your character.
Okay. I think I just had a paper due that I needed to get back and work on. And it's like, need a little fresh air, but then I need to get back to writing about dirty air for my paper.
I think I'm just not great in the sun. I burn really fast. And I was like, I'm not that interested in bunnies. Can we get out of the sun?
Okay.
All right. So my turn. Let me draw a card. I got the Queen of Diamonds. Your best friend has a pet that you adore. What is it? So I think my best friend is someone I know in grad school, and they have a. Are people all right if it's a tarantula? Okay, so they have a tarantula, which I adore because it's extremely low maintenance. You put some bugs in there every now and then, it eats them, and that's all it really needs. And it's fuzzy like a cat. You can take it out and pet it, but it does not require nearly the maintenance that a cat does.
What would a cat give you that the tarantula doesn't give you?
The tarantula is not very affectionate. It doesn't seem to, recognize people or understand who is caring for it. It just does its tarantula things. And I do appreciate that, mammals have the ability to, recognize individuals and form attachments and those kinds of things.
Let me draw a card. You got the
Thank
10 of clubs.
10 of clubs. You were at an important event that was disrupted by a cat. What was it? Important event. I'm going to say I was at some sort of work function, and we were in a restaurant, and there was a stray cat outside that looked injured, and I left the work function to go check on the cat. It wasn't there by the time I got outside, but I still left a work function.
How much trouble did you get in from your boss?
I got some side eye. I wasn't in trouble, just it added to my slightly off reputation at the office.
Did you have cat fur on your suit when you walked back into the work function?
No, I had mud. I tried to look for the cat.
Okay.
All right.
Give me just a second to refresh roll for your party because I got the error as well.
Oh.
It is refreshed. I got... Oh. Not only did it refresh, but it also gave me my card. I got the 2 of diamonds. Next one coming up will be the 8 of spades. The 2 of diamonds is your favorite pet growing up was a cat. What is your fondest memory of that cat? My fondest memory of the cat was when I was hiding in the crawl space behind the staircase because my parents were fighting, and it was really loud, and I was scared because I was just a little kid. And the cat came and could tell that I was scared and spent the whole time with me. So I found the cat to be really sympathetic when other people weren't being sympathetic to me.
Good kitty.
What I remember from it in particular is that it was an indoor-outdoor cat, and the cat really stank. And I used to really dislike that the cat stank. And when the cat hung out with me under the stairwell, like it stank so much worse because it was an enclosed space, but I didn't care anymore. Questions or next card?
So
Next card. So you said 8 of spades?
Yes,
Okay.
8 of spades.
Go ahead, Cinder.
Oh, I was going to ask, did that change your relationship with that cat going forward?
It did. It meant that I wasn't as concerned about the cat being stinky in the future. But I kind of expect all cats to be stinky in the future, and like if they don't prove themselves to me, then it's still just a stinky cat.
Okay.
Did you have like a more positive opinion of cats as a whole species after that encounter?
No, that just made my childhood cat special.
Okay. So 8 of spades is the local high school's mascot is a type of cat. What is their team cheer? So I want to say what kind of cat. They're the Ligers, so lion tiger hybrid. And I think maybe it's something like, I don't know how cheers go, like we will never lie because we are ligers or something like that, or always expect the truth or something like, I don't know, something punny and awful like that.
Did you go to that high school?
Yes, I did.
And how embarrassed are you by that cheer?
It's pretty bad. Like everyone always looks at me like, really? I mean, my in real life high school mascot was a paladin, so I'm used to nerdy up. Ooh, kitty, who's that? Kitty.
It's Zelda.
Cordy. Zelda, hi Zelda. What a goof! Hello, kitty. It's a Cordy.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so if there's no more questions, I will clear the room and draw my card. It's the 10 of spades. What hobby do you have that's incompatible with having a cat around? So I think that it's got to be something relatively inexpensive with my grad school salary. I think I have a large tub of Legos that I kept from when I was a kid. So this is like my Christmas presents from, 10 or 15 years worth of, me and a kid. I've kept them and I build elaborate things out of them. Maybe I've like made a few stop motion animations and put them on YouTube or something. Just lots of intense adult Lego stuff. And I just know a cat would knock things over, chase the pieces. They'd all wind up under the refrigerator. It's just not a good look. Chew the heads on the little Lego guys.
What do you think would be fun to do with your hobby if you did have a cat?
I mean, I did see a cool video the other day where some people did an elaborate dominoes arrangement, and there are these cats just fascinated watching it go. So if I could like keep the cat away long enough to set something up, I might be able to set up a cool Lego thing. I've got some of the gears and those kinds of Lego parts. I might be able to set up a cool Lego thing that the cat might be fascinated by.
Sorry, I have to do the draw, don't I? It is the Ace of Clubs.
Thank you, Kirk. Ace of Clubs. What activity are you missing out to go to the shelter with the family? I am missing out on my social justice book group.
Oh. Do your social approve that you are doing a social justice thing like adopting a rescue cat?
Mom.
Garrett,
Yes, they've demanded pictures.
Garrett, no.
Which particular social justice issue is the current book about?
The current book is about wealth redistribution and sort of low-key overthrowing capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
One cat at a time.
Do you believe that cats are opposed to capitalism?
And how do they feel about cat pub? God, I ruined it. Cat capitalism.
I think as long as they're provided with what they want, they don't really care. They're above capital. I can't even say it. Let's take the pun as read. They're above capitalism.
So I got the Two of Hearts. Why does a quirk of the cat's personality rub you the wrong way? Trying to think what the quirk should be. It seems like the cat is very easily startled if you approach it from the side where it no longer has an eye. And this rubbed me the wrong way because cats being affectionate toward me is like the whole draw, and I always forget which side has the proper eye and which side has the glass eye, and whenever I approach it from the wrong side, it's startled and doesn't want to hang out with me anymore. So even though I understand this, I still subconsciously feel like this is a non-affectionate cat.
So when the cat's startled by that, approaching it from the wrong side, is it like a defensive reaction that it has, or an offensive reaction?
Oh, it's defensive. It's like scared and runs away a little bit, or arches its back. It's not like it doesn't become angry. It just becomes surprised, no matter who or what it is it's approaching from there. Right. If there's no questions, I have to refresh again. We got the 4 of diamonds.
All right, so the 4 of diamonds says, why has your best friend tried to talk you out of adopting a cat? Is there a mechanic in DFTQ that would allow me to pass a question to another person?
Yeah, you can. I accidentally left that out of my rules description, but that's standard for the queen. So
would we be okay with that mechanic proceeding in this session?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because I think that I don't necessarily know anything about myself in character that would like illuminate the story, but I'm going to pass this to Stentor.
Okay. So my best friend is the tarantula guy that we've established, and so he was really hoping to talk me into getting another tarantula, so that they could be tarantula friends, because he thinks that he's convinced that his tarantula is depressed due to lack of social contact, and if he can talk someone else, he's like, he doesn't have room in his tiny grad school apartment for a second tarantula himself, but if he can find someone else to get a tarantula, and then we can have like tarantula play dates, and it will make his tarantula happier. So it's a totally self-serving reason that he doesn't want me to adopt a cat.
So, like, to what extent are you convinced by his overture?
So I'm studying atmospheric physics, which doesn't have anything to do with animal behavior, whereas I think he's in a biology program, so I trust him to know what tarantulas need. So I feel like it's a fair, it's a plausible thing as far as I'm concerned. He's more of an expert in this than I am.
Yeah. So we're all naive.
That makes the game more interesting that way. Okay. And so then I think, since I just got to answer that, I'll just go ahead and pass the turn on to Kim.
7 of, not 7, Queen of Spades.
Queen of Spades. Is fancy organic wet food worth the cost compared to dry kibble? I'm going to say I'm a vegetarian, and so like I'm down with the cat eating meat, but I don't necessarily want to have to handle it. So if it's left up to me, it's going to be a dry kibble cat. Not necessarily because of cost, just because of grossness.
So would you buy the fancy organic kibble then?
Yes. Yes, I would. I will buy the fancy organic kibble. I'm going to go to the fancy organic pet food store in its weird, inaccessible location, and I'm going to buy the fancy kibble. And you all are going to make fun of me for it.
As long as you're paying for it, I'm cool with that.
Hey, if the litter box is in your room, I'm happy to pay for the cat food.
Yeah.
So you made the program that distributes cat chores to us. Did you do anything to make sure that you wouldn't have to feed the cat as often?
As long as it's kibble, I don't mind feeding. No, we have a cat feeder. We have something that on every 12 hours will spit out half a cup of kibble. Doesn't require any human intervention.
Okay.
Okay.
I got the 8 of diamonds. 8 of diamonds is, where did the cat once bite you, and why did you deserve it? Wow, I have negative feelings about the cat, I think. The cat once bit my hand because I came to the shelter to play with it, and I brought one of those cat toys on a stick, like a feather on a string on a stick, and I got the cat really riled up, and it was really having a good time. And then I flicked the feather to the left, and the cat's missing eye was on the right, and the cat got scared and saw the stick coming out of its peripheral vision and bit me on the hand. And part of me thinks that maybe I did deserve it because I have to be like really careful with this cat, and it was something that actually made me feel a little bit better about the cat. Like I felt like this was my fault, and maybe if the cat gets an owner, it needs an owner that understands that, and maybe not everybody would.
Okay.
Christina, your card is 7 of diamonds.
7 of diamonds. Where did a cat once lick you, and why were you unworthy of the honor? Oh boy. I feel like, where did this cat or where did a cat? Okay, a cat.
A cat.
I think a cat once licked me on the forearm, I guess, and I was unworthy of that honor because I was a kid. It was my childhood cat, and I was kind of an asshole to the cat. But it was a very understanding cat. Maybe it understood that I was still like a human kitten child thing. And so it was like sympathetic to my lack of understanding.
Did you normally have a good relationship with this cat?
I think I antagonized it a lot. Like I wanted it to play all the time when it wanted it to be left alone. So I wasn't bullying it like a, psychopath kid who, fries ants under a magnifying glass kind of thing. But I think it was like a typical 7-year-old child and cat relationship. Like the cat had been around my parents before me, and I was the one that displaced its number one status in the family. So mutually antagonistic, I guess.
Did you try to dress the cat up?
Yeah, I totally did. Doll clothes.
Okay. Clear the room. Draw my card. Oh, now I got rate exceeded again. Yay.
I feel like all of the social distancing has really been taxing like Netflix's servers and,
Roll for
everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Got it back here. So, all right. So I got the Jack of Clubs. Why do you expect to bear an unfair share of the burden in caring for a cat? I'm going to X this one because I feel like it just doesn't fit the character that I've established thus far.
Okay.
Like, I feel like it would be really petty at this point for me to act like my burden of caring for this cat is going to be unfair, given how much I'm like trying to weasel out of it.
You could pass it.
Sure, I'll pass it then. Who thinks they are going to bear an unfair share of the burden here and would like to expound on that?
Sorry, that's my not it.
Yeah.
I'll bear an unfair share of the burden.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm the roommate that has a work from home creative job, and I feel like because I have the work from home creative job, and the cat is always around me, if the cat needs something, then the cat's going to ask for it, and if I don't give it to the cat, then the cat's going to be a pain in the ass. So even if it's somebody else's job to do that thing for the day, I feel like I'm going to be put in a situation where I'm going to have to do it. Like I'll be doing other people's cat chores because the cat doesn't know that we have a chore wheel.
Is there a particular chore that you particularly resent having to do if it comes up?
I really don't want to clean the litter box.
Have you decided to communicate that fact to us? The fact that you will not clean the litter box, essentially.
I communicate that fact to everyone in the apartment every time we talk about getting the cat.
Okay.
We're tired of me communicating that fact. Do you think I should just suck it up and clean the litter box sometimes?
I think I'm at least willing to like take a tech workaround to it. Like you have to take out the bag that it's already. I don't know. Do you see those? What are they called? Litter maids that were like $300 back in the 90s, where they like, yeah, they're like ran into. Would you take that bag out, or do you find that equally disgusting?
I mean, I don't think it's as disgusting, but I'd rather not touch cat poop. I don't want to be involved in the cat being smelly.
Okay, there you go.
But if I'm home all day long and the cat litter smells, then all of a sudden it's my problem to solve.
Yeah, I've had a couple of discussions like that IRL recently. So,
And bring some real cat problems into the situation.
You're also going to. How do you feel about cat hork? Because you're probably going to be the person most exposed to it.
Oh, yeah. I just don't want to have anything to do with the cat fluids. I'm willing to feed it or vacuum after it or provide for its entertainment, but I really don't want to be involved in anything I could possibly step in or have to smell all day long while I work.
Okay.
Also, like you're referring to it as hork.
That's the sound they make, right? Hork, hork, hork.
Kim, you have the 6 of spades.
Thank you. I had actually lost track of whose turn it was. 6 of spades. You got into an argument online about whether declawing cats is okay. Did you win? Oh, yes. I had some very strong opinions, some really gruesome pictures to back it up, and explained how it was like cutting someone's fingers off, and said, if you wanted me to cut your fingers off, then it's okay if you declaw a cat, and we might not talk anymore, but I feel like I won the argument.
Was it an argument with someone you knew, or like a rando in a group, or?
It was a Facebook argument with an aunt.
Ooh. Did you guys unfriend each other after that argument?
We unfriended each other. My uncle has tried to get us to get along again. We've just had none of it. It's been a whole thing. And I'm still 100% convinced I was right.
If we get the cat and we don't declaw it, who has the most to lose from this? Who has something that's in ready shredding territory?
Ooh, I have a leather love suit, which is.
I have every intention of putting the little plastic guards on the cat. I don't know if you've seen the nail tips, but
I don't know if they work.
I've had them work on one cat and not work on two, but hope springs eternal.
Good way to put it.
Okay.
I got the 5 of hearts. 5 of hearts at the top. What is the cat's favorite toy at the shelter? The shelter has, I don't know if they make these for cats or if it's just a dog thing. But they use it at the shelter, so whatever. It's fiction. The shelter has a food Kong, the little toys where if you bat it around long enough, it like a treat comes out. And the cat loves that and will play with it until all the food comes out, and then will obsessively play with it afterwards because the cat used to live outside, and the cat is one of those outside cats that is just like of course, if there's any semblance of being able to get food, it will devote its full attention to this because who knows when you can have food again. You will clearly never be fed again, so you should immediately scarf whatever is available. If we have no questions, Christina's card is the 3 of clubs.
All right. The 3 of clubs says, what catchphrase or tired joke do you always make about a certain animal that annoys the rest of the family? I feel like I try to insert the word cat into things like capitalism and communism, so like everyone's getting really tired of my cat puns. And like I think that we anticipate that they're just going to get more frequent.
Oh,
With
absolutely.
I think that the three of us have tried to talk about names that involve the minimal amount of punability in hopes of heading this off, and failed. I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll be able to create a pun out of anything.
Or maybe just like, oh, when he's stretching out, I'm always going to say, look at those beans. Or like anytime he does something cute, I'm going to say, oh, kitty.
Okay. My card is the Jack of Spades. If you had to be away for a long time, how would you ensure the cat is taken care of? So if we were all gone for a while, my preference would be just to give our spare key to a friend and ask them to come over and feed the cat. Probably not Tarantula Guy, because he's not really a cat person, but I'm sure that one of us has a friend in the neighborhood that would be willing to stop in, every day or two, refill the food bowl.
Who has security concerns about giving our house key away to somebody, even someone that you trust?
So, I feel like Kim has the most money, and so probably has the most stuff that's at risk if there were to be an issue.
I don't think I have concerns. Like, I think that I'm not huge on collecting things, and so, and also I'm probably socialist enough that I'd be like, oh, we'll just give. If they really needed it, they'll take it. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's no other questions, Kim's card is the Ten of Hearts.
10 of Hearts. Cat has special dietary needs. How will you provide for them? I think I've already answered this in going to the weird little store with the organic cat food, but I'm going to say that as the, I don't know why I'm the person who has the most money, but as the person who has the most money, I'm comfortable putting that money towards making sure the cat has a special diet.
What about the cat's diet? Do you feel like your other roommates don't understand?
I think, I'm not sure who, but I think someone is like, oh, the cat's always hungry. We should feed it whenever it wants to be fed.
Maybe the cat overeats. Like maybe it's a chronic overeater.
And the vet or the shelter has told us that it would be really bad for, I don't know, the cat's heart or something if it got too fat. And so I'm very like, we can only feed the cat so much. But some softie is convinced that the cat is starving anytime it says it wants food and is overfeeding the cat.
I think that's me for sure. Oh my gosh, that's what I do with my cats. If the cat begs for chicken, I'm totally there. I'm the worst kind of enabler.
I'm not saying that in my real life I'm quite this hardcore.
If there's no questions, I got the Ace of Diamonds, And the Ace of Diamonds is your favorite pet growing up was not a cat. What is your fondest memory of that pet? My favorite pet was, gosh, I don't want to say a bird because birds you also have to clean up the poop. What's a good animal where you don't have to clean the poop?
Rock.
Hermit crab. I had a hermit crab. That's a rock, right? It's more or less a rock. My favorite pet was a hermit crab because it was in my room all the time, and I spent most of my time in my room. And it wasn't very loud, and of course I didn't really interact with it, but I could pick it up and it would crawl around on me a little bit. And I wasn't even aware if it pooped or anything. Like, it didn't seem like it would ever make its cage any messier. It was really easy to take care of. And a lot of the times I kind of felt like I was stuck in there too. So I felt like if I was stuck in the house and the hermit crab was stuck in my room, then the hermit crab was the me of my room, if that made sense. So I projected onto the hermit crab a lot. And I think the way that affects how I'm looking at getting a cat is that I definitely want an indoor cat only. I had this outdoor cat and it smelled, and I had this hermit crab that was stuck inside all the time. So I want a cat that's stuck inside all the time, and that hopefully doesn't go outside and roll in something dead. If there's no questions, Christina's card is the 5 of Diamonds.
All right, the 5 of Diamonds. What sort of disgusting present did a cat once bring you? I feel like growing up, I lived in like a tropical kind of environment, and there were a bunch of like those lizards, brown anoles that like find their way into people's homes. And my childhood cat, the same one that was like antagonistic towards me, maybe knew that I was really squicked out by lizards and would often bring me dead lizards.
What did you do with them when you found them?
I told my parents and didn't really congratulate the cat. In my head during this time, I was like, between 7 and 10, I was like, gross. But, I guess I eventually got over it.
Okay. So my card, and so we've gotten through a fair number of these questions. I don't know how people are feeling about maybe like go around once more and then do the final.
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, so we'll each get one more shot at answering a question here. So my card is the 7 of Spades. You read a study on the ecological impacts of feral cats. Did you believe its conclusions? It's a great one for me to get as the grad student here. So I think this study was actually given to me by Tarantula Guy, my friend. I guess he keeps coming up. We'll give him a name. Let's just call him Eric. It's the first name that pops into my head. So yeah, so my buddy Eric, that's trying to get me to get a tarantula instead, sent me this study about the ecological impacts of feral cats. And it's a study that says that the alleged impacts of feral cats are really exaggerated and they're actually not so bad. Therefore, we don't need to take in feral cats and adopt them. We can just leave them outside. You can just turn them loose. It's not a big thing. So I think because Christina, we've established that you're like a stats person in the game.
I am in real life, but
okay. I thought you had mentioned that.
I'm fine. I was actually going to chime in with something related.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I asked you a question about the statistical methodology that they used, because I was a little suspicious that since Eric was pushing this so hard, I was a little suspicious that he wasn't doing a fair literature review here. He was cherry picking the studies to show me.
Speaking of, they do multiple. So IRL, I am a statistician, guys. So forgive me if this sounds a little jargony, but I read the study, and I find it is underpowered, and that they do multiple comparisons without adjusting post hoc. So it's total garbage statistically, essentially. So you can throw it away. It's like
Okay.
the only use for it would be as like shredded paper cat litter.
Okay.
What study did Eric provide you about reducing the number of feral tarantulas?
That's apparently an under-researched area, and he has suggested that we apply for an NSF grant on the topic.
He convinced me. I think there should be fewer feral tarantulas.
You don't really hear about trap, neuter, release tarantula programs.
If it's Kim's turn now, then she has the 4 of hearts.
You give the cat a nickname that is the name of a different kind of animal. What is it? For no apparent reason, I've started to call the cat Bug.
Yeah.
And I'm like sticking to it.
What false story does one of us believe as to why you call it Bug?
I'm trying to convince. I have a very limited understanding of biology, and I think a tarantula is a bug. And so that's why I'm calling the cat Bug.
Try to fool Eric.
I got the King of Spades. King of Spades is... Does anything smell worse than cat pee?
Appropriate.
Yeah, this is great. So my bottom worst smells of cats ranked in order is dead things that cats bring in, when cats themselves roll in dead things, cat hork, to use the roommate term, cat poop, and then cat pee. So yes, there are several things that smell worse than cat pee, and cats produce all of them, and this is definitely a concern. If there's no questions, Christina's card is the 5 of clubs.
All right, and I guess this is the last question.
Yep.
Which family member watches your favorite animal-themed TV show or movie with you? Oh God, I have an answer for this. I think that as roommates, we all have like a Netflix subscription that we share, and we're all watching The Tiger King right now, which is the show about some like guy who keeps tigers in the middle of like bumfuck Oklahoma, and he's very eccentric, but like it's big cat themed. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So if there's no further questions after that, do you agree to adopt the cat? So I'll go first. I vote no. I think my character is not down with the whole cat thing at this point. It just seems like too much hassle, too much work. Though I don't advocate for a tarantula instead. So Eric will be disappointed in me as well. I feel like this is not the right time in my life to be responsible for any animals.
I'm going to vote a qualified yes, because I don't think that anyone should have to have a pet if they don't want to have a pet, but I really want to have a pet. So I may feel out your no to see how firm a no it is.
I'm going to vote yes, but also along the lines of that this has to be unanimous, and I completely accept our grad students' no in that respect. But I think despite having a larger or a larger perceived responsibility, if not a larger actual responsibility, and despite suffering more of the smells than other people as someone who's home all the time, I'm kind of looking forward to the company.
Yeah. I'm going to vote an unqualified yes. It was going to take a lot to convince me to not adopt the kitty. And he has a cute little firehouse origin story. So I'm totally a sucker. We keep the name. It's Smokey.
Okay. And so I think the three yeses kind of get to me, and I'm like, okay, fine, okay,
So
and I give in.
we might not be good roommates.
Yeah,
Roommates that bully one roommate into getting a pet is probably bad.
Yeah, I start asking my advisor if there's like, professors at other schools in other cities that I might go work with.
Oh. So then once you find like a field work location for the summer, doing like radio telescope work, I don't know, and wherever the radio silence zone is in West Virginia, I think that we vote to give Smokey your room. Like all of it.
You're terrible roommates. I'm so sorry.
I think that's great. I think that's great. I come back to visit once. You haven't told me that, and so I come back to visit once. I just walk in, and the cat toys everywhere. And
smells a little bit like Nick.
Yeah.
Carpet floor on your bedspread.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for playing. That was great. I'm going to go ahead and end our stream here.